Everyone, this is Kannababu from Satya Technologies. We are learning advanced Java. So, in order to advanced Java means what? We already know that servlets plus JSP plus JDBC. So, Java is popular basically to develop different types of applications. Java is popular. By using Java, we can develop desktop applications as well as web applications as well as mobile applications. You can develop different types of applications. Right? Mostly, if you want to develop desktop applications, only core Java is enough. If you want to develop web applications, you have to learn advanced Java, and you can develop by using Spring, and you can develop by using Spring Boot. These three are popular to develop web applications. So, in advanced Java, we are focusing on servlets, JSP, and JDBC. So, today we'll discuss about the softwares that are required. Is it clear to work with advanced Java? First of all, we have to install different types of softwares. Like first, we need to install database server. Database server, that is nothing but Oracle. Just I'm installing all the softwares. The softwares that are required to develop the complete web application by using advanced Java. First, we need to install database server, and then we need to install web server. That is nothing but Apache, Tomcat, Apache. Is it clear? Or you can call it Apache Tomcat. And then you have to install editor, IDE. IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. That is nothing but Eclipse. Eclipse is an IDE to write the programs. Oracle is a database server. So let us see first of all, what is database server? What is database server? Simply you can tell database server is a software which is used to manage databases. Database server is a software which is used to manage databases. Different types of database servers are Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL. These all are database servers. It is a software which is used to manage databases. Are you following? So first of all, you must know what is data. Data is nothing but a collection of raw facts. So whenever you want to perform any operations on data, we need to store the data. In order to store the data, we require some memory. And this memory was basically divided into two types. One is temporary memory, other one is permanent memory. Temporary memory means RAM, permanent memory means hard disk. So if you want to store the data permanently in hard disk, we have to take the support of files or database servers. Is it clear? Files are database servers. So data is a collection of raw facts. Whenever you want to perform any operations on data, we need to store the data. Permanent storage is files or databases. Temporary storage means RAM. Generally in programming languages, we'll use this RAM. Is it clear? In programming languages, the data will be stored in RAM. Like if you want to store the data in RAM, generally we'll store the data in variable, or we'll try to store the data in array, or we'll try to store the data in object, or we'll try to store the data in collection. Is it clear? Mostly in any programming languages like Java, .NET or Python, the data will be stored in RAM. Why to store the data in RAM means to perform operations. If you want to perform any operations on data, we need to store the data. In order to store the data, we require some memory. This memory is basically divided into two types, temporary memory and permanent memory. Temporary memory means RAM, permanent memory means hard disk. So mostly Java developers mostly will work with Oracle as well as MySQL mostly. And again, these database softwares are two types. These database softwares are two types. One is SQL databases, other one is NoSQL databases. Okay, nowadays NoSQL database also became very popular. SQL databases are Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server. These all comes under SQL databases. NoSQL databases are MongoDB, HBase, Cassandra. These all comes under NoSQL databases. HBase, MongoDB, Cassandra. Mostly for streaming type of data, or unstructured data, will use NoSQL databases. But right now it is not required. In our advanced Java, we have to concentrate on Oracle. Okay, na? Database server is a software which is used to manage what? Databases. If you want to store the data, there is a software which is used to manage what? Databases. Yes or no? So now here. So here you can see, in order to work with these databases, yes or no? First of all, we need to install the software. Don't confuse. Here you can see two things are there. Are you following? So here you can write database server and client application. Data, we can communicate with the database server in two ways. In database, the data will be stored in the form of tables, which is collection of rows and columns. For example, here I have one table with name EMP, with columns E number, E name, and salary. I will write some data here. 101 Anil 20,000, 102 Sumit some 30,000, and 103 Ajay and some 40,000, something like this. This is some data. We are storing the data in the database in the form of tables. Means what is this database means? What is database? Database is a collection of information. Simply you can tell what is it? Database. What is database? Simply you can tell database is collection of information. Database is collection of information. Is it clear? What is information means? What is information? Simply you can tell. The data belongs to a particular organization. The data belongs to a particular organization. Particular organization you can call as information. Okay. So for example, if I'm developing a project for a particular college, I'm developing a project for a particular college to maintain the student details. We are developing a project for a particular engineering college where I want to maintain the administration details, or I want to maintain the library details, or I want to maintain the lab details, I want to maintain the hostel details, I want to maintain the faculty details, I want to maintain the student details, I want to maintain the employee details, I want to maintain the alumni details, old student details, lot of information, examination details I want to maintain. So the college is there, that college want to automate. The college want to automate the process. In olden days, the college is doing the manual work. Now if the college want to automate, then what to do? This is the information related to your particular project. Is it library details, lab details, hostel details, faculty details, student details, employee details, alumni details, examination details. So now we need to gather the data belongs to our particular requirement. Okay. And we need to store the data in the tables in the form of rows and what columns. We need to store the data in the form of tables, which is collection of rows and columns. So store all these data in your database. So in order to manage, database is collection of information. In database, the data will be stored in the form of what? Tables. Is it clear? Database, the data will be stored in the form of tables. For example, I want to maintain the employee details. So here I will write something like employee number, employee name, salary. Here 101, some Sumit, some 20,000. Similarly, if I try to create one student table, student number, student name, age, gender, etc. Here one, some John, some 22. Similarly, I will try to create some course table, some department table. Like multiple tables are there in a single database. In a single database, multiple tables are available. Are you following? So now in order to communicate with the database, how to communicate with the database? In order to interact with what? These databases, some software is required. Is it clear? So here I will ask, why to interact with databases? Why to interact with databases? Here you can tell, we can communicate with databases. Why to interact with databases? Why to interact with databases? Okay. Why to interact with databases? We can connect to databases. We can connect to databases to perform CRUD operations. We can connect to to perform databases to perform CRUD operations. We can connect to databases to perform what? CRUD operations. You can ask me what is this CRUD operation? CRUD operation means C represents create. Means in our point insert, not creating the table, inserting the data. R represents retrieve. Retrieve the data from the table. And U represents update. Update the data. D represents delete. Delete the data. So whenever you want to perform any CRUD operations, you have to take the support. We have to communicate with the database. So why to communicate with the database? To perform CRUD operations. Next, say I want to store the data in the database. For that you have to write the insert command. I want to retrieve the data from the database. For that you have to write the select command. Select command. Similarly, if you want to update the data, you have to write update command. In database, the data will be stored in the form of table, which is collection of rows and columns. So here you can write in how many ways we can connect to. In how many ways? In how many ways we can connect to database server? In how many ways we can connect to databases? In how many ways we connect to databases? Is it clear? So here you can tell something like we can connect to databases. We can connect to database server in two ways. In two ways. One is by using run SQL command prompt. Here you can see something like run SQL command line. By using run SQL command line. It is a command line editor to interact with databases. And another one is by using Java application. By using Java application or front-end application, or by using some applications. We can connect to database server in two ways. One is by using run SQL command line. Other one is by using some applications. Let us assume Java application. .NET also you can communicate. You can communicate in two ways. Now, run SQL command line. Run SQL command line. It is an editor. It is a console editor. It is a console editor which is used to. It is a console editor which is used to communicate with the database server by writing queries. And this run SQL command line is recommended only for the sake of developers. Developer will use this. Okay, na? Developer wants to communicate with the database server just for checking whether queries are working properly or not. For that, they will use this run SQL command prompt. End user will communicate with database server. Java application. If the end user wants to communicate, here the point I want to tell you is run SQL command line is not user friendly. Run SQL command line is not user friendly. If end user wants to communicate with database server, he will communicate by using some applications. That was developed by using Java, .NET, PHP, Python, Django, etc. Is it clear? So if Java application wants to communicate, with database server, then we have to use JDBC or Hibernate or JPA frameworks. JDBC is a technology, Hibernate is a framework, JPI is also a framework. So the point what I'm telling, we can communicate with the database server in two ways. One is directly we can communicate with the database server. Directly, if you want to communicate, you can communicate by using what? Run SQL command line. Run SQL command line, we can communicate directly. And if the end user wants to communicate with the database server, end user cannot directly communicate with the database because end user don't know SQL language. He has to learn one language, no? End user don't have the knowledge on this SQL. So now what we do, we have to, as a developers, we have to develop some applications. We have to develop some Java application. And this application we have to keep on web server. We have to keep this application on web server so that multiple users can access this application. Now this application want to communicate with the database server, then we have to learn JDBC. Now end user will interact with this application by using browser or by using mobiles or by using any client application, some tablets or whatever it may be, or some ATM machines, etc. If it is a banking application, end user will communicate with what this is called as clients. Client is nothing but not user. Client is nothing but browser. Or here you can see here the client is what? Browser. Here the client is what? Mobile. Here the client is what? Some ATM machine or swiping machine, etc. So these clients will communicate with server. Server will communicate with what? Database. So to develop this application, we have to learn Java. To develop this application in Java, web application, you have to learn servlets plus JSP. And if your application wants to communicate with the database, you have to learn JDBC. So now if you want to make your application to be accessible globally throughout the world from any device, then you have to keep that application on web server. Keep that application on web server. Did you understood? We have to keep that application on where? Web server. If you want to globally access that particular application. Did you understood everyone? So here the web server is Apache Tomcat I am using. Lot of web servers are there, JBoss, Glassfish, etc. But here initially we are working with Apache Tomcat. So this is your database server. It is Oracle. And these are your browsers. So in order to develop Java application, you have to install one IDE, editor. In order to develop Java application, you have to install one IDE, that is Eclipse. Lot of IDEs are there, STS, Eclipse, IntelliJ, etc. So in order to develop the application, one IDE is required. In order to store the data in the database, one database server software is required like Oracle. And in order to deploy the application web server, some web server software is required. So in order to develop any application advanced Java, you have to install all these softwares. First one is install database server. Second one is that is Oracle. Second one is Apache Tomcat. Third one is Eclipse. So Oracle is a database server. Apache Tomcat is a web server. Eclipse is an IDE. Eclipse is IDE. Apache Tomcat is a web server. Oracle is a database server. So first I will show you how to install Oracle, how to install this Tomcat, and how to install Eclipse. That is our today's session actually. It is very easy to install. Let us see here. So in order to install these software, let us see. First you can open Google. I prepared one video and I will upload this video also. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Actually, just go to Google and type oracle.com. Is it clear? There you can see some Oracle database you can see. And you can see Oracle database 19C. That's the latest version. Download database 19C. Here you can click the download button. Here you can see. To make the things fast, I have recorded this. So here you can see. You can use Oracle in which operating system? Windows operating system. So you can select Microsoft Windows x64-bit. Click on zip, so that you can directly download. First install Oracle, then install Tomcat server, then install Eclipse IDE. Just click on zip. I think it will take 2.9 GB memory space. Just you click on zip and then you can download it. Is it clear? Because we are using Windows 64-bit. Just right click on my computer. You can see properties. There you can see your 64-bit or 32-bit. Just check the checkbox, click on download. It will take some time to download. Okay, now. So you have to accept the Oracle license agreement. But before this, try to install JDK and JRE. I already in the one video I kept how to install JDK by Kannababu. If you type, you will get. There you can see login.oracle.com. In the last video in JDK, I told how to create the Oracle account also. By using that same Oracle account username and password only, you have to download. All the Oracle related, Java related softwares, you have to log in with Oracle account to download. Some student mail ID I am trying to log in. yvenkatatak@gmail.com and some password. I showed you how to create this account also. It's very simple, like your Facebook, Gmail registration only. You can create. So I'll try to just log in with my username and password, and then I'll try to click on sign in button. Okay. Then you will get the permission to download the Oracle software. So now we are installing the database server, that is Oracle. It is asking you to save the particular file. So mostly I'm saving on desktop here, click on save. Then automatically it will take some time to download. Very easy. Is it clear? There you can see it is downloading. One zip file came actually, it will take some time. Okay. To download here, it will take some time. Show in folder. Here you can see it is downloaded. So just double click and you have to extract. You got the file as a zip file. Just extract so that all the file will convert into different folders. Yes or no? Unzip the folder. First step to install Oracle software. Next install IDE. This web server. Oracle is a database server. Apache Tomcat is a web server. So in database server, what is there? Data is there. Data is stored in the form of tables permanently. Web server means what is there? Means application is there. Your Java application must keep on web server. Your databases related to your tables keep on Oracle. And to develop the Java application, one editor is required. That is Eclipse. Any editor is okay. Eclipse or STS or anything. Now go to your My Computer. Go to your D drive. There you can see softwares. There you can see Oracle. It was downloaded successfully. And then you can double click that one so that you can easily install. Next button, finish button. Oracle database 10G. Express edition. Setup is preparing. The install shield wizard. So it will take some time to install. Just downloading and installing the Oracle software. Are you following? First install Oracle, then Tomcat Apache server, then IDE, Eclipse. Develop the application, IDE is required. Now here you can check here. Just you can see. Next button, click on next button. Select I accept the license agreement. Check the radio button. Yes. Select, check the radio button and you click on next button. And again you can click on next button. It is asking you to enter the password. Is it clear? You can give any password because at the time of communicating with the database server, it will ask you for some password. Here I am giving the password as admin. Is it clear? I am giving the password as admin and admin. Username is system. Password is admin. Because your Java application will communicate. Click on install. Your Java application will communicate. Here you can see the port number, Oracle port number 1521. It is the default port number for Oracle to communicate with the database server. Just click on install. See what I am telling, your Java application will communicate with the database server by using JDBC technology. For that you have to learn JDBC also. So at the time of working with the JDBC, you have to declare the connection string to the database server by giving the username and password. So you must know what is the password you kept. Here my username is system, password is admin. Click on finish. Oracle is successfully installed. Very easy to install. Okay. Just here you can see. Now we have to create the path because Oracle installation we need to set the path. So here you can go to C drive, oracle.exe. There you can see Oracle folder. There you can see product 10.2 version folder. You can see that you can open. There you can see server. See the URL. There you can see lib, JDBC lib. There you can see two files are available. Is it clear? See the path, oracle.exe app, Oracle product. There you can see the jar file. Just .jar, copy that file. I am setting the class path. Otherwise, we cannot, our application cannot communicate with database server. So after installation of Oracle, you have to set the path. So copy the path, and there you can go to my computer, right click on my computer, go to properties. There you can go to advanced system settings. There you can say environment variables. The last JDK video I told you difference between path and class path. There you can see. Already his path is there. Select a new path. That is JDK path. Now this is Oracle path. Variable name I will give something like class path. And here variable value I will try to give the URL. Just keep semicolon at the end. Click on OK. Okay, paste the URL. Click on OK. Very simple actually. Follow the video and do the steps. You will feel comfortable. Close it. That's it. Path set is completed. Now here you can see the browser. It is asking you to give the username. I am giving the username is system. Password I will give as admin. This is a database server. Okay, na? Click on login. Then you got the permission to access the Oracle database so that you can write the queries to perform operations. Now, once when you install Oracle, SQL command line also will be installed. So open, go to run, and there you can type that command line, run SQL command line. Now I want to check whether my database connection is established or not. Just you enter connect. That's it. One command you can type. It will ask you to give the username. Username is system. Password is, I'll try to give admin, and press enter. If the database is connected successfully, you will get a message saying that connected. Yes. So Oracle is successfully installed. Installation is completed. Oracle. If now you can create the tables, you can create the write the queries and everything. Just anyway, I will teach Oracle in future, but just I am telling a small table I will create. Create table, table name, EMP, column name, data type. Here you can give. Is it clear? Creating one table. Wait 1 minute. Create table, table name. I will give the table name as KB. Here I will give the column name as EMP name, varchar 2 of 10. E number, number of 10. Table is created successfully. If you want to check the description of the table, there is one command DESC. Space database, table name, KB. Now one table is created. You can see the structure of the table, like column names and data type names. Just I am showing you whether Oracle is installed or not. Is it clear? Again, you can type connect. So again, every time when you open the command prompt, it will ask you to give the username and password. If I am not giving any password, you got the error. You see, login is denied because I have not given any password. Directly I have entered connect. So you have to give the username is system, password is admin. I think you are following everyone, right? Yes or no? Connected successfully. This is how you can install Oracle. Yes or no, everyone? Are you following? You can use MySQL editor also, no problem. Now here you can, okay, I'll clarify your doubts. Let me complete this one. Now here you can see something like here I'll try to create a table with name Satya, E name varchar 2 of 10, E number. Is it clear? I'm creating one more table. Semicolon is mandatory in Oracle. Every statement must end with semicolon. Table is created. If you want to see the structure of the table, you can type the command DESC space table name Satya, you can give. Okay, so Oracle is successfully installed. Now let us see how to install Apache Tomcat. Because three things are required, I told. One is Oracle is required, Apache Tomcat is required. You type Apache Tomcat 9 download, click the first link. There you can see the version. There 64-bit Windows zip, because ours is 64-bit now. Mostly 64-bit is recommended. Nowadays all laptops and desktops are 64-bit only. And here you can 32-bit means you have to click that one. Windows Service Installer separately how to click on save. Apache Tomcat 9, first install the 32-bit or 64-bit, both it will work. So I selected the 32-bit and I am downloading the .exe file. So softwares must be installed on your laptop. All are .exe files only. Show in folder, double click. I am installing the server, installing the web server. Previously I installed database server. Oracle is database server, this is web server. Accept, I agree. Is it clear? Here you can select full. I want to install all the services provided by the server. And you can see the port number 8080. Is it clear? You can give the username. Actually, that port number is not for us here. Okay, just give the username and password. And here you can give the show details. Admin and admin is the username. System username and password. Click on finish. Means administrator permission is required to install the web server. That is the reason I have given that. So now Apache Tomcat is installed. Go to C drive. There you can see program files. There you can give Apache Software Foundation one folder. You can see. There you can find Tomcat 9.0. Click on continue. Administrator permissions. There you can see bin folder is there. There you can see Tomcat 9. Just double click. So server startup in some time. Server is already backgroundly running. And all these servers, one you install, two servers you installed. One is database server, other one is web server. Whenever you install the servers, then automatically these servers are available in the form of services. There you can see servlet API is available. Is it clear? Automatically operating system will start that particular server. Is it clear? Here you can see all the Tomcat related files you can find. API. There you can go to lib servlet-api.jar to set the class path actually. Here also we are setting the class path. But when you install Eclipse, automatically the path will be set. Right click, go to properties. There you can see advanced system settings, setting the class path for Tomcat server. Previously we set the class path for Oracle. Now we are setting the class path for Tomcat. In JDK we are setting the path. Here select the class path. Here you click on edit. Already one class path we set now. There you kept semicolon, comma, semicolon, and there also you said two class path you can paste in the same line by separating with semicolon. First one is Oracle class path, second one is your web server class path. Just follow this video, you will get clarity. You can see that is the entire class path. You kept semicolon, dot. After semicolon, you keep dot, and again semicolon, set the path. Click on OK. This is the path of Apache Tomcat. The previous one is the path of Oracle. First install Oracle, set the class path. Then install Tomcat, set the class path. Click on OK. Here also click on OK. So your web server is successfully installed. First database server is installed. Now web server is also installed. Two softwares are installed successfully. Now try to install the editor. IDE, Integrated Development Environment, Eclipse.org. Eclipse is an editor which is used to write the programs. If you want to develop any Notepad is not that much recommended because developer feel very burdened. So just click on download. Okay, Eclipse I am trying to install. Advanced Java will try to work with Eclipse, and Spring that will use STS. IntelliJ also I will explain you. Is it clear? Eclipse installer you can see. Just you can keep the video and pause. As you already know, Java is platform independent. If you develop the application of Java in one OS, that application can run on any other operating system. Just click on download. Okay, click on save. Try to save this one in your on my desktop. Yeah, IDE. It is an IDE. Just to write the programs. I installed Tomcat server. Only core Java programs, JDK is enough. When you install JDK, JRE also will come with development tools. Now double click on that exe file. Just double click. Next, finish. Let us see. Click on run. Is it clear? And here you can set this is your Eclipse. Eclipse installer. Eclipse is an IDE. Here you can select the first one, Eclipse IDE for Java developers. Eclipse will provide different services. Click on install for enterprise application, everything. But now I'm installing Eclipse IDE for Java developer. It is an essential tool for any Java developer, including Java IDE, Git client, every Maven, Gradle, etc. Click on launch. Now we are launching the Eclipse. Are you following? Now all the setup was done. I will upload anyway this video in YouTube so that you can easily install, download and install. Is it clear? So first step number one, install this one. Here you see, select a directory as a workspace. Means whatever the programs you are created will be saved in that particular directory, folder directory means. Now your Eclipse IDE was opened successfully. Did you understood everyone? Are you following everyone? YouTube channel name I'll upload in Telegram link. You can just go to my YouTube channel, there you can find. Just you type Kannababu in YouTube, you'll get. I will upload anyway in Telegram link. I will upload. This is my channel. Here I already showed you how to install JDK. JDK installation I told you. How to install JDK, how to set the path and class path. In this video I showed you how to work with, how to install Oracle web server as well as IDE. Are you following everyone? Any doubts you have, you can speak and unmute. Is it okay? Are you feeling confused? Separately we will learn Oracle, JDBs, everything I will teach you, don't worry. Is it okay? Telegram group is not yet created, I will create. Telegram